Hello. Hi, Blue Fleet. How are we doing? Welcome back to a slightly gunky-throated episode of Ace Attorney Investigations 2. How are we doing? My wife has a bit of a summer cold at the minute. She's transferred some of the, gooiness of the throat to me. So, you know when your throat is just gunky and it just feels, ugh. Yeah, she's managed to give me that, so thanks, wife. Real based of you. I had a quick word with Arahelis about this last bit of this case a couple of days ago, I think, and I've been advised that we have possibly one, more likely 2 streams left of this game. So I'm going to see how we go tonight. If it makes more sense to split this into 2 on account of my throat, then that's what we're going to do, alright? And that means that we'll then be starting on the Sausage of Justice after we finish this. Hey Hades, how you doing? Welcome in, welcome in. There's a Capcom Direct, I'll call it. I don't know what Capcom calls them. There's like a showcase. That's coming soon. And I'll be honest, everyone is just coping really hard. It's like AA7. 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 So if Capcom gave us AA7, sure, I could dig that. If they gave us a Dino Crisis remake, then I'd probably lose it a little bit more. Hey, how are we doing, Ara? Any Ace attorneys in the chat? Everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. They are attorneys who do not the sex. And we stand them. They cool. Yeah, AA7 hype. If they actually announce AA7, then I will be pretty happy with that. If they announced a Dino Crisis remake, I would shit out my own dick. Like, that's how excited for it I would be. If they actually AA7, I'll hear you screaming. You know what? I don't doubt that. I think you and a lot of people, actually. I mean, I'm interested to see if they actually pull the trigger on it. Because if they did, well, my backlog just fucking grew again. Because at the minute, we've still got the Sausage of Justice. And then we've also got the Great Ace Attorney 1 and 2 as well, which I actually own those. I bought those in a Steam sale before I bought this. And this game is just so long. Like, it's 2 games, but it's been as long, if not slightly longer, than Apollo Justice so far. So, well, I mean, like most of the Apollo Justice trilogy. AI2 is massive. It's really girthy. It's super wide, you know. Okay, so we were on this one, weren't we? Yeah, so we're inside of Mr. Thief. Mr. Thief has vored us, and we must now investigate our way out of his tum-tum. God, that is one of the most cursed things I think I've said on the stream in a long time. I'm sorry. If I said I was sorry, would you believe me? You wouldn't believe me, would you? Okay. These footprints stopped by the body.
I guess that means they belong to Mr. Eldam, right? His feet are pretty big. What's that, about size 12?
We've already read that, haven't we?
According to the file, they're the same size as his shoes. It's a match.
Yeah, we've already read that data. Why did he not simply flex his abdominals and just rebound the bullet? So we got the gun. The president's kidnapper. We should see if we can judge anything based on their appearance.
Roger that, Red Leader. Alright, let's have a look at you.
The first thing to note is that they're holding the president at gunpoint.
Trying to look all cool and tough waving a pistol around. Whoever it is, they suck.
His aura alone should be enough to deflect the bullet. Yeah, it really should. Hang on, I've worked out who this is. I know who this is. So, extremely muscular, very hairy, pointy ears. This is the beast. Therefore, by process of deduction, this chap is Gaston. No one threatens like Gaston, kidnaps presidents like Gaston. Oh dear. I amuse myself, you know. I amuse myself. I'm a bit delirious because it's like 30 degrees in the UK right now, and I'm suffering from mild heat delirium. So please bear with me on that, huh? Their coats and hats completely cover their face, so unfortunately we can't identify them that way.
Turning their collar up and pulling their hat down and trying to be all mysterious. I hate this kidnapper.
And they seem pretty relaxed. I don't think they're particularly nervous.
Yeah, hand in the pocket. Classic show-off move. You suck, you suck, you suck.
Okay, that's...
What? You said to judge them by their appearance.
Well, yes, but I didn't mean it like that. Dijun Wang. He was president of Shengfa even back then. 27 degrees in your room, pray doesn't rise to 30. I don't know how hot it actually is in here, but like it's 30 degrees outside the house at the minute. And you know what UK houses are like? We build to keep heat in. So I imagine it's probably going to be more like 33, 35 inside. The other issue I've got in the office is that my monitors and my PC kick out heat. So even though I've got fans on me, it's like I am like chip maxing on my tits. You know, I have under tit sweat right now. I am starting to see why women have it so hard. Because I said to my wife the other day, oh, so that's why boob sweat gets on your nose, and she just looked at me just like. No, it was like this. It was like. You yeet at me, Hades, but I'm sympathizing with the feminist cause. I'm becoming awakened to their plight. No, but she genuinely, she was just like, really, Shinsu? Okay. Yep, okay. And then she went off to work, and I was like, did I say something wrong? Well.
Does he look any younger? It's kind of dark, can't really tell.
Indeed, and the situation being what it is, his facial expression is somewhat distorted.
I wonder why they took him after this.
We don't know that yet, but depending on how our investigation progresses, we may find out soon enough.
Hey, that snowman. He was melted in the simulation in the morning after the murder, huh? And that muffler was all wet and its little button eyes had fallen off.
Indeed, it still looked reasonably healthy at this point. Although not entirely, I can see one thing that's missing.
Oh, poor guy. I bet some kid took it as a stupid prank. Not a bad piece of thieving, though. Maybe they had potential.
You think one of the orphans took it? I'm not so sure. In fact, I think it was grabbed by somebody else entirely. I see.
Eureka!
This snowman is missing a certain something, wouldn't you say? Is Kay trying to become the Batwoman of thievery, hiring orphans and all? Ah. For some reason, I misinterpreted that as Catwoman. It reminded me of when I played Arkham City. And I never finished the Catwoman DLC because I just got distracted by doing the slide move around the floor all the time. That's my deep dark confession for the day, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay. Indeed. Luckily we've managed to locate it.
The button Mr. Oldham was holding. Look at that. It's the same type of button as the other eye and everything.
And if we suppose that the button was indeed the snowman's missing eye, that presents something of a contradiction. What does the button contradict? The victim's location. Because how could he, if he was there, how could he have grabbed it? The victim was clutching the button, and the button was covered with his blood, which means he must have grabbed it after being attacked. Let's run a little hypothetical, shall we? What if, after being struck, Mr. Aldan lost his balance, and reached out to grab something to steady himself, the snowman? The snowman wouldn't have supported him, so he would have grasped the button and continued falling.
I get it. So you're saying that he was near the snowman when he was attacked?
I am. Within arm's reach, to be precise. And he's currently nowhere near that close.
Right, but his footprints only go as far as the planter. He never came back this way.
What if they weren't his footprints? I think we need to look at all the prints again.
Alright, I'll take us back to the scene when Mr. Eldan's body was found.
Ah.
But the footprints on the left definitely matched up with Mr. Eldan's shoes, right? So what's the deal?
Let's take another look and see if we can figure it out. These footprint goes towards the body and come back.
According to the case file, they're thought to be the killers. Yeah, about size 9. Pretty average, in other words.
We've read through this before, actually, haven't we? We did that last week. Okay. His shoe's way too big. That's not his shoe. His shoe's way too big. That's not a fit. These shoes, as the case file says, they match the footprints, but... these aren't the victim's shoes, I'm sure of it.
What do you mean?
Look at how the laces are tied. Don't they look a little strange to you? What's more, they don't appear to fit properly. That's a bit of an is shoe. Oh, no. I didn't get it when I read it in text, and I said it out loud, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. You got me. No, you actually got me there. You know what? I can't even be mad because I walked right into that one. I stepped right into it.
So these prints, they go around up to where the victim was found and they stop right by his feet.
But they didn't actually belong to him.
So are the prints by his head his? The ones that lead away and come back?
No, I don't think so. They're too small.
So neither set belongs to him. Then how'd he get here?
That's easy enough. He didn't walk. He was carried by the killer. Okay. So then where did the murder take place? Was it really over by the snowman as we suspect? Oh, we've already read this. Ah, we can't skip through it even though we've already seen this text before. Damn it, Ace Attorney. Why'd you do this to me? I think we've investigated everything at this point. Yeah. Right. Uh-oh. Ah. Sorry, my hay fever's been really up today. Looking to see if there's like somewhere with an obvious brick missing. Hey Zach, how we doing, man? All good on my end. How about you? I hope you're having a good one. I think Mr. Oldham's body was moved. How else do we explain the button clutched in his hand? And that would suggest that he was killed somewhere near the snowman. Don't take a closer look. Aha! There we are. Look, see? Immediately.
Huh? Look, there's a brick missing here.
The rest of the brickwork looks fine. Strange that just this one is missing. Haha! Excellent. It seems quite likely that the missing brick was the one used in the murder, wouldn't you say? Went on a hike yesterday with family, got to see a nice view. Hiking's like, if you've got the stamina for it, hiking's really, really good for getting like just out and getting into the fresh air. I'm not really very good at it because my stamina's bad. I don't like walking either, and I also, well, I don't like being outside, which doesn't help. Like, oh, I'm gonna go for a hike. Oh, but that would mean I'd have to go outside. Oh. If you don't die of a heart attack when halfway up Arthur's Seat, hiking's fun. Oh, man. Yeah, I can imagine I'd probably not cope very well with it, to be honest. No, I'm glad you had fun with that, though. That sounds good. It seems quite likely that the brick that we found was used in the murder, don't you think?
Oh, yeah. Now you mention it, they're exactly the same size and shape.
Okay. You had to give up halfway through. Oof. I'm not looking forward to my workout tomorrow because it's leg day tomorrow. Probably with some burpees and some kettlebell swings as well. In 30-degree heat. I am going to be sweat maxing. I'm just going to be more sweat than man. A sticky mess even. Oh, minging. I think we have to conclude that the murder actually happened over by the snowman.
Right, the button came from there. And the brick too.
Indeed. And what's more, if the murderer took the brick from right by the snowman, and then tried to sneak up on the victim all the way over by the planters...
Mr. Alden would have seen them right away.
Exactly. I think we need to update the simulation, Kay. Mr. Alden wasn't standing by the planters, he was next to the snowman.
Gotcha. Alright, here goes.
That doesn't look quite right.
Yeah, no matter how you look at it, this just doesn't work, huh?
Indeed, everybody who was present is in exactly the same spot.
So, where did we go wrong?
One of the pieces of evidence on which we based our simulation must be the source of the problem. What if one of them was faked somehow? But which one was it? Well, I actually think this one. Do you know why I think it's this one? Because Dijun Wang has a body double. So it could very easily have been his body double who's in this picture.
Take that!
Can we really be certain that this picture was taken by Mr. Aldown?
Huh? What do you mean?
We know that whoever killed him moved his body, but why would they have done that? What if they wanted to make it seem like he saw something he didn't?
And then they took the photo to help back up the lie.
They had the presence at gunpoint. They could easily have forced him to pose for the picture. You thought it was because Dijun Wang was so hot the snowman would have melted? I mean, his name is literally Wang, you know. He is the god of dick. He is the absolute god of dick. Unquestioned. He would have had no choice but to comply.
Hey, now that you mention it, they only recovered one picture from Mr. Arnold's camera, right?
Indeed, I imagine his killer probably removed the film that was already in there. Can't skip leg day and some sweating's probably good for you. Yeah, I never skip leg day. But yeah, I mean, I'm on a diet kick right now, so I stop any food intake, including you know, maybe a light alcoholic beverage if it's really hot like today. But otherwise, all of my calorie intake stops after dinner. So dinner I have at 5 o'clock on the evening. So at the minute, every single bit of food that I'm having, I basically have a 12-hour period where I'm not having any food intake. It's working pretty good at the minute. Like, I've lost a couple of kilos so far. Also, I'm doing 100 kilograms on the chest press reliably now, which is a huge jump forwards for me. I got stuck on like 80 for years. Bench press as well. I've been able to blast through that. That is a strat, yeah, exactly. But tomorrow morning, what I'll do is I'll get up. I'll have like breakfast at the minute is a protein yogurt or a protein shake, depending on what my day looks like. So tomorrow it'll be a protein yogurt plus a banana, and then after I've worked out, it'll be a protein shake. What about stones? I don't know the conversion. I know that I'm too many of them right now. Wang was named Huang for that reason. You could say that he was, well, Huang. Oh dear. Then replace it with another, thereby ensuring that the only picture found was the one they staged.
Now that makes total sense. So this picture was actually taken after Mr. Alden was killed? No way!
Ah! Ow. Okay. And there you have it. The picture doesn't show what Mr. Alden saw at all. It seems highly likely it was simply staged to make us believe that that was the case.
Wait, so where was the president when Mr. Alden thought he saw him being kidnapped?
Luckily, the photograph isn't the only piece of evidence we can use to try and figure that out.
Oh yeah, he left that voicemail too.
He did. I think we should listen back to it one more time, don't you? This is surely the only place where the president is kidnapped could have been standing. Wait, what? We need to listen back to the voicemail, but we also need to work out where the president and his kidnapper were standing. Voicemail Doko? I don't know. It's just skipped. It's... What? Surely it says we should listen back to this, but then it's like, it's gone straight into a present. That doesn't seem right. You could use present just to check the voicemail.
Take that! That's where they really were. How do you figure that?
Do I need a reason? The present did not work.
What? You mean you don't have one?
Ah, that clearly wasn't it.
Let's go over what Mr. Allen said in his message one more time. He mentioned some of the stuff you could see, right?
He did. Perhaps we can use that to help us figure out where they were standing. Is it going to let me actually... It's not going to let me check the evidence. It's not letting me check the evidence, so I can't even go back and see, hey, what's he said? What? During the dialogue beforehand, you can check the court record then, yeah, but look at my health bar. I don't get why it's not allowing me to check the record now. Come on, man. So they're not there. There's the 2 sets of footprints here, 2 back. This bit is definitely not well designed. Because I have no idea what the voicemail said. Hey Rosie, it's me. I guess you're asleep already. I'm here at the orphanage. Something weird's going on. President Wang is here for some reason, and the light's out, so I can't quite see. But it looked like he's being kidnapped. Anyway, probably nothing, but I thought I should let you know. So are they, like, over here? I think they're over here.
Take that!
Recall this statement from Mr. Aldan's voicemail. Damn it, the light's out. 2 of the lights here in the yard are broken.
Yeah, you must have been talking about the one over by the building.
Alright, could you update the simulation to reflect everything we've learned?
Sure.
Okay. There we have it. The kidnapper was really standing over by the building. Yes, which would certainly have strengthened the theory that they were connected to the orphanage. So they moved the body and staged the photograph to distort the picture painted by the voicemail, which helped them undermine the idea that the orphanage was involved when the case went to trial. Well, that certainly changes what this particular part of the simulation tells us. I imagine it will also affect our understanding of the scene from when the body was found.
Only one way to find out. Ready to make the jump?
To switch between the 2 recreations, I need to first press T to talk with K, and then select Switch Recreations. I'll give it a try later when I need it. Don't we need that now, though? Don't we need that now? Hold on. I imagine we're trying to get something, this is going to be like spot the difference, ain't it?
You want me to show you the scene as reported in the police's case files, right? Okay, let's take a look at how things were when they found the body. There we have it.
So, in this one, he's there. So he's over here now, huh? So this is where Mr. Aldan really met his fate. When he was moved in order to make the scene consistent with the stage photograph. Over to the spot between the planters.
So the footprints, the fact they go over there and come back.
Yes, I think that tells us something important. That they were left by whoever carried him over there. Spot the difference is what you were guessing? Yeah, I'm not great at spot the difference. I am sometimes, but it's not very often. The blood cuts out really weirdly. Blood on the snow, a lot of it. Certainly looks as if a murder occurred here, doesn't it?
Wait, we just figured out Mr. Aldan was killed over by the snowman, right?
We did. I think this blood might belong to somebody else.
What? But the police report said the blood was Mr. Aldan's.
Need I remind you that the case was overseen by Chairman Winner? Shinsu, look, someone dropped a splatter of ketchup next to a box of menthols. Yeah, they missed their wings. They missed their plate of wings, and now the ketchup is just everywhere. Very upsetting. How you doing, by the way, Dud? So welcome in. The UK is really fucking hot today. I am boiling my tits off. I the difference getting spotted more often than not. I do the difference. Yes. I the difference. Sometimes as well, I get told, please do not the cat. And then I'm just like, no, I'm going to the cat. And then they're like, no, do not the cat. And then I the cat. And the cat. And it's great, you know. And the cat's just like, yeah, you can yeet all you want, Aaron, but I the cat. No, I will the cat. I will the cat, right? If the cat was here right now, I would the cat. I mean, the cat right... Ah! Ow. It's too hot for the cat right now, so at the minute the cat is downstairs, and I like the cat when I go downstairs, but he's just like sat on the sofa, just like snoozing because it's way too hot. I put some ice... Ah! No! I think I got concussion. Ugh. No, I put some ice in their bowl earlier on just to make sure that their water was a bit cooled off, because it's just I need to try and find their cooling mat. Oh, it's there. I found it. It's I had it in the office a while ago. So we had another mini heat wave. So what I did was I stuck it in the fridge and then just put it underneath my feet while I was in my computer room. And it was beautiful because it just cooled me right off. I should start doing that again, really. I should start doing that again. The man would have no scruples about altering the official record over something this small.
Then why go to all that trouble? Couldn't you just clean up the blood instead?
He wasn't able to. Think about it. He knew that this was where the police would find Mr. Aldan's body. And he knew that the police would have certain scientific methods at their disposal to look for clues. Could I put the cat next to the AC for a bit? No, because I'm not rich enough to have AC. I am nowhere near wealthy enough to be able to afford that stuff. I wish I could, but, like, you have to have, like, bucks to be able to afford that shit over here. It's out of my reach, unfortunately. Sad, but I've got 3 fans on. I'll make 2. Yeah.
Oh, you mean luminol? Yeah, they would have found traces of blood. They use that for sure.
Exactly. He wouldn't have been able to clean it up to the point where it was undetectable. Far easier to falsify the results of any such tests when they came back in. It would simply have been a matter of replacing the official results with the doctored copy.
Ah, so we've been looking at a forgery this whole time. That sucks. Wait, it says Mr. Allen's clothes were covered with blood too.
It does, and if they were, which seems entirely believable, it suggests that whoever's blood this is, it wasn't yet dry when Mr. Aldan's body was placed here.
I get it, which means that the other person's blood was spilt not long before Mr. Aldan was killed.
I think it does, yes. But if that's the case, doesn't that present something of a contradiction? Okay. Oh, by the way. I think someone at Nintendo UK has dropped a cataclysmic bollock. Right? Texas has AC in almost every building. Yeah, I've heard that America has it as standard. In the UK, it's most certainly not standard. Like, we're used to being too cold rather than too hot. So, to get air conditioning in a house over here costs. And it costs a lot. You know, it's more than I can afford by a long way. And actually running it as well would be way too expensive. So, you tend to find air conditioning in, like, hotels or the houses of the wealthy, which is kind of a pain, but you know what? It is what it is. I can make do, you know. After I finish streaming, I'll sponge myself off a bit. I'll sit down, you know, chill out for 5 minutes, and I should be good then. Nintendo dropped a bollock, right? So, someone put up a poster in the London Underground which said Metroid Prime 4 out now, which really suggests that grocery stores have air conditioning, yeah, but like shops have air conditioning, hotels have air conditioning, but houses by and large do not. Houses are like not likely to have air conditioning at all. But that poster said Prime 4 out now. It's not out now, but the fact that a poster has gone out at this point to say it is really strongly suggests it's about to come out, like, imminently. If it does, I will shit my pants. Okay. We've gone through this dialogue. Okay. That blood is his. That blood's not all Downs. From a heat map that you see most of the US temperature range about the Mediterranean Spain level. Yeah, I mean, I think the US, as I understand it, has very dry heat. The UK has very sticky heat. Like, it's kind of like a horny nun, you know? 4 is not a prime number. 4 is a number that makes me prime. It makes me extremely prime. And then it makes my plasma beam fire. You know, it makes my plasma beam go, Chiff wow! Please understand that. How are these Metroid jokes working? Hit, miss, decent, passable? America is one of the few countries in the world with every biome. Objection! You say that America has every biome. Where's the Mushroom Island? Hmm? Where's the Mushroom Island? Where's the Sakura? Where's the Deep Dark? Does it have every biome? I raise you, sir, that it does not. It has many of them, but not all of them. It doesn't have every biome. Because I ain't never seen a Mushroom Island in America. I mean, a Mushroom Cloud Island, which is 3 miles long, perhaps, but that's kind of by the by, right? Where's the Grand Reef? Where's the inactive lava zone? Where's the Lost River? Excellent. Excellent. The inactive lava zone would almost be like Yellowstone, though, wouldn't it? You understand the freeze ray is still your favorite? The freeze ray is good. Lost River, you mean how the Colorado's becoming? Oh, man, that's rough. There was a flume at a water park I went to as a kid called the Colorado Coaster. I loved it. Right. Do we need to swap things over? Let's try to swap it over. You don't let the Brits near the Shroom Island. You know what? That's probably just as well. Okay. So do we look at this? Do we swap it over? Mr. Alden wasn't killed here between the plants at all.
Then, what's this blood doing here?
Things have changed considerably in terms of what the simulation is showing us. But if we want to look more closely at this blood, I think we'll be better off looking at the simulation from the point at which the body was discovered. Okay. America does have reefs, especially in the territories. Fair enough. I'm learning. I'm learning many things.
So this is where Mr. Alden actually saw the president and his kidnapper?
Yes. Which pretty clearly suggests a link between the kidnapping and the orphanage. You can see why so much trouble was taken to suggest that it happened elsewhere.
Yeah, they pulled some really dirty tricks there. Faking a photo like that, that's just cheating.
Not to mention disposing of Mr. Alden's camera film and forcing the president to pose at gunpoint. You glad no kids saw the shootout? You know what? I think they might have done. You know, little Timmy was interviewed 10 years later, and he just says, like, smoking a cigarette and sipping from his whiskey, "This was a fucking bomb. For a few seconds, this place was Armageddon. Oh, there was a firefight." How are these Boondock Saints jokes working? Hit? Miss? We've got all the references today on this channel.
And if Chairman Winner was involved, he could have changed that or hidden other evidence as well.
It certainly doesn't help that the SS5 case file was classified until just recently. You've got none of the references? Damn it. The only reference you've gotten so far is Gaston, which, to be fair, makes sense because he's French. You know, Gaston is like... I mean, he's not the Frenchest guy because he's like strong and brave. Funny I say Boondock Saints, you're looking at your poster right now. Ah, there we go, see? Someone gets my genius.
Yeah, but he's wearing bars now and the truth's coming out at last.
Indeed, although much still remains unclear. We need to look very closely at the differences between this and the previous simulation. Okay. There's no mistaking it. This is where Mr. Aldan actually took his pictures, before being attacked by the murderer with the brick from the planter just behind him. Can I look over the fire in my evidence? Yeah, sure. After being attacked, he collapsed, grabbing the snowman's right eye as he fell. Gaston does have a Chad build, he really does. The only thing he didn't have was a Chad personality. He had the personality of a dweeb.
Which means his body would have been here at first, and not where we thought it was before.
The twat. You can tell Ara's been hanging with the Scottish. I says, I've been hanging about with the Scottish for a little while, and I tell you what, that Gaston's a wee melt. He's a great little roaster. He's an absolute fud. I tell her. So have a look at the fire. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. My imitation's quite good. Aye, sir. You know, you were in the country of Mike Meekins, sir. Every single person that you spoke to was Mike Meekins. Ba, 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 ba. He simped for a gal that wasn't interested instead of any of the gals that were. Yeah, Gaston was just a prick, wasn't he? Right, we need to look at the fire, don't we? Hold on. Why? There we go. Okay. One of the children set the orphanage yard on fire as a prank sometime during the evening before the incident. You want to shoot Mike Meekins through the Mons Meg? It's really disturbing that you should say. You say Mons Meg. Is that what the blood seems weird? It seems likely. I think they tried to burn something here, and the blood's not been quite burned properly. You say Mons Meg. I was watching Red Cannibal Woman's, well, the VOD of her stream earlier, and she was covering up lewd scenes with Mon Mpreg. So it was Mon Preg. So, yeah, worth a deduce. I don't think we can. Like, not without... Unless we go to the other scene. Yeah, let's swap over then. We can on the other simulation. Yeah, we'll try that then. Okay. I think you're right, by the way, Aaron. We're 40 minutes in. We're not very far into this bit, so we'll split this into two, and we'll finish this game on the next stream. I think. I think we've got enough to go through that it's going to take us two full streams to get through the rest of this case, right? Right. Okay.
This is the only part where there's no snow, huh?
Because of the fire one of the kids set, I imagine the snow here melts as a result.
This must be the unluckiest orphanage in the world. First a fire, then a murder. Talk about going from bad to worse.
The fire came first, but just because it caused the snow to melt. Almost finished with this part, we have two still remaining. Yeah, that's what I thought, and we keep on getting distracted into, like, random yaps as well. So Edgeworth just said, the fire came first, but just because it caused the snow to melt. Let's have a look at the evidence again. Okay. See, I think we need to do a deduce on the blood. So I'm going to try it. Didn't mean to press that. So do we do a deduce on the blood or the fire? It's one of the two. I'm going to try the blood. I think it's more likely to be the fire, but I'm going to try the blood first.
Eureka!
It's not. Eureka! It's wrong. You roll fire? Yeah, it's the fire. I should have applied Occam's razor and gone for the obvious. It was the fire. Yeah. I thought it was the blood, just... The reason I thought it was the blood, because you see how it cuts off really weirdly. Now, the solution is not clear on where you have to choose. Oh, okay.
Eureka!
Okay, so it's actually not the fire on that spot. So I think it might be the fire on the blood. Good job breaking it, Hero, yeah. I think it's the fire, but we have to be, like, here.
Eureka!
There we go, yeah, it's the blood. There's a clear contradiction here.
Huh? In the bloodstain?
The blood is clearly cut off where the snow was melted by the fire, which means that the blood in question was spilled before the fire was started.
Huh? But the fire happened before the murder, no?
If we choose to believe the case file, yes. But if the fire was actually set after what happened here, the kid who lit it might have seen something. Then why isn't there a witness statement? Because that would have challenged Chairman Winner's version of events. We need to know more about this fire. You! Yes, Chifu. The fire might have been reported to the police, which means there might be a record of it. Go see if they have anything, and bring everything you find back here right away. Friendly reminder that Winner has assessing things on fire animation. He even set his own face on fire, and burned off his beard. Oh, thinking of which, I'm in town tomorrow for my haircut and my beard trim. I had a minor meltdown earlier today, because I had to renew my driving license. I've done it, but I almost had to make 2 trips to town tomorrow on the hottest day of the year when we've got like thunderstorm warnings because it's so hot. Hydrate. I'm old. I need to drink. Yes. Ah. Oh, thank you. Whew. Congratulations, you failed message. I did. It's true. One more thing. What is it, Shifu? Contact my family back in Shengfa. Tell them to search my father's office. There should be something there related to the case. There should. What kind of something exactly? Yeah, sorry, as I was saying, my bike driving license or an actual car license? I don't have a bike license. Actually, does my license cover me to ride a motorcycle? Hold on. Does it? I'm just having a look now. No, it doesn't. Wait. Oh, that's weird. So... I got a permit for that. In France it kind of is. Yeah, so... I'm licensed to ride mopeds and powerful bikes, but I'm not licensed to ride anything in between. And then the rest of my license covers cars and small vans. So yeah, it turns out I do have a bike driving license. But no, it's my car license. I had to renew it because it's 10 years old in July, so I managed to get everything updated on it, so that was nice. But it took some doing because the government's website is shockingly bad. I told you I'd seen this scene somewhere before, didn't I? Well, I've remembered where. It was in my father's office. He had a picture of it, or at least there's something very much like it. What? It looked like it was drawn by a child. Possibly a child from the orphanage. Possibly even the child who set the fire. It should still be there somewhere. Tell them to send it right away. That's why government fund cuts are bad? Yes. I mean, it actually is because, like, you cut essential services and it just makes everything way more painful. But I thought I was going to have to make 2 trips to town tomorrow, like one in the very early morning. You spoiled the fact one of the kids was a witness. I'd kind of twigged on it already. I kind of twigged on it already. And I actually have a bit of an idea as to who it is, right? Would you like to hear my theory? Would you like to hear my theory, Arrow of the Hellas? Am I going to blow Ace Attorney open completely again? Can I do it again? Let's see. Theory time. Okay. So here's my theory, right? My theory is that for whatever reason, Sean is the kid who saw what happened. I think Sean, because the president is here, and because Sean was seen meeting with the president in, not meeting with the president, sorry, I mean the president was there in the lot where Sean was doing his practice, right? I think that Sean is the love child of Dijun Wang and Verity Gavel. And he's been squirreled away into an orphanage to prevent the shame from hitting the presidency of Shengfa. But that's why the president's come here. He's come to try and visit his son. And then, you know, like, Gavel is trying to organize weekend contact in that picture where they're coming out the lift together, right? I think I'm pretty close with this, if not spot on. Some problems don't get fixed with money, especially if fixing the problem is the main reason for funding. Yeah, I think that a lot of problems do get fixed with money. Enough that if you take the funding away, then without the funding, you can't solve the problem. But lunch break's over. No worries, Zach. You take lots of care, and hopefully I will see you soon. We're playing Chrono Trigger tomorrow. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to get up to the point where we get beaten up by a cave woman with ridiculously shredded abs, but I'm going to do my darndest to try to meet that fate, right? Okay. But yeah, you have a good man, and take lots of care. Ah. Okay. Right, okay. Do we need to speak to Wang? Wang? Lang? No. We need to do some logic? So we need to do something. Okay, nothing more to be found here. Try saving on the logic. I don't think there is. Because the thing is, like, look at the logic that we've got to put together. What did Winner dig up? LaGuard asked him to dig something up near a plans, but what? Oh, no, you might be right, actually. I thought they were too tangential, but actually, now I look at the text, I think you could be onto something. Let's try it. Let's try it, Hades. Oh! You, my good sir, are a genius. If Chairman Winner was involved in President Wang's abduction, then it seems likely that whatever he dug up yesterday had something to do with the kidnapping.
Oh, I get it.
You do?
You bet I do. We're talking treasure, right? Loot. He must have been digging up the ransom money.
The ransom money? $100 million is an awful lot of cash. Burying it would have been a good way to keep it hidden until the heat died down. It certainly seems like a possibility.
Haha, glad you agree.
Okay. The K Thief Radar is spot on for once. Yeah. Oh, that's it. Inject that health straight up my asshole. Ugh. Beautiful. Whew. Oh, give me a second. Sorry, just got a ping. Ah, okay. Right, okay. That's right. Shifu, I'm back! I brought everything the police had on the fire, and also brought the picture from your father's office. Oh, woman. About time. What kept you, huh? Well, hand it over. Let's take a look at this mysterious picture, shall we?
Well, well. It's our good friend, Bodhidharma Canis.
And he's carrying the toy. He's carrying that toy with the recorder in it. This is it. This is the picture I remember. Could this be a depiction of something that happened on the night of the incident?
Sure looks like a kid drew it, huh?
Yes, and I'm willing to bet it's the work of the child who set the fire. Shifu, there's... What now? Look, it'll have to wait, okay? Well, Mr. Prosecutor? What was Canis doing here? Only one way to know, and that's keep playing? No, I don't need to keep playing to know what Canis was doing here. Canis is an assassin. Canis was the real father. Here was me thinking that Dijun Wang fucked Verity Gavel. But it turns out Bodhidharma Canis fucked Dijun Wang and got him boy preggers. Holy shit, man. What the... This game just took a twist that I did not expect. Jesus. Why do you think my father kept this? I imagine he acquired it at some point during his investigation, although I have no idea why he would have chosen to keep it to himself. Could we see the case file for the fire, too? Sure, here. If you just give me a moment to read through it. It seems the boy who started the fire snuck out of bed on the evening of the incident, and then disappeared several days later. What? Must have been because he saw something, right?
No, a kid? Really? That's horrible.
But sadly, not unimaginable. Huh? Looks like the kid left something behind that was put into evidence. Huh? What's this? What's it doing in that case file? What is it, Mr. Prosecutor? Have you seen this somewhere before? Something very much like it, yes. We have a piece of evidence that could well be connected. It's the Torosaurus plushie.
Take that!
I don't know what it was doing in the evidence for that case, but it looks like that might be the missing horn from this soft toy. Hey, that was President Wang's. You've seen it before? Of course. He always kept it somewhere close by. I remember it because of the missing piece. I see. It has a special device inside it that plays recorded sound when you twist the horn.
Hey, do you think maybe putting the horn back on might unlock more recordings?
Ha! You never know. The toy itself should still be up on the 51st floor. Dijun Wang's butt plug? You surprised Autobot isn't stopping you? I'm not. I'm pretty sure that I added butt plug to the list of acceptable words like... 2 years ago, maybe? It's been a while. Like, it's been a while. It doesn't even flag up on my moderation tools anymore. Probably because I say it often enough that moderation tools are just like, you know what? We can't stop him from saying it. Just allow it. Just fucking allow it. Hey, you heard the man. Yes, Shifu. I'll go fetch it right away. Dorothy was there. Dorothy had 5 inside her at once. Dorothy had 5 Dijun Wang butt plugs inside her at once. Why do you think she was shaking that much? It wasn't because Alma was trying to hack her. Here it is, Shifu. Torosaurus doll, just like you asked. Good work. Head to the prosecutor over there. Well, does the horn found at the orphanage fit the president's plushie?
It fits perfectly.
And? Any more recordings on there? Hi, Dijun. Sorry, President Wang. It's me, Amelie. I know it's been a while. I saw on the news that you were visiting the country soon. And I didn't know whether I should get in touch at all, but in the end I decided I had to.
Overruled.
Turn this off right now.
Wait. She's not the mum. Verity got cucked. Oh, this is some Jerry Springer level bullshit. Let's fucking go. What's got into Judge Gavel?
Are you okay? Just turn it off, please. You see, I had a baby. A beautiful little boy. Your beautiful little boy. I'm sorry, that's pretty much all I wanted to tell you. Oh, except I called him Sean. Sean Fenn. He has a nice ring to it, didn't you think?
So I was actually right about Sean being the president's kid. Holy fuck. I was just wrong about who the mum was.
No.
Sean Fenn? The kid?
And also that I'll be at the orphanage on the evening of the 9th. I'll be waiting in the front yard. I thought you could meet him if you like, even if it's only just this once. I know you're a very busy man, but anyway, that's where we'll be. Goodbye.
Damn, that theme is dark. Gazelle got cucked? Yeah, she did. Like, hard. What? He was my dadu?
I'm so sorry, Sean.
Care to explain what the heck is going on, Gazelle?
Sean isn't my biological son. I adopted him.
And he was aware of this?
Yes, of course. His mother, Emily Fenn, she died 5 years ago. We were cousins, but we were also friends, the best of friends. People often mistook us for sisters. And so, when she died, it seemed only natural that Sean should come and live with me.
And yet, despite this, people are bitching over the ending of the live-action Lilo and Stitch film. This is exactly the same thing. Oh, sorry if I just spoiled that film for anyone, teehee.
Of course, we had to keep his father's identity secret, and I decided that the best way to do that would be for him never to know in the first place.
That's quite a lot to learn from a recording made in a seemingly innocent toy. I guess Sean's mother must have recorded the message and then sent the plushie to the president. Hey.
Yes, Sean.
You're sure? He was really my dad.
Yes, I'm sure. Before you were born, your mother worked for a time as a diplomat in Shengfa.
Makes sense. That line of work might well have brought her into contact with the president. It brought her into more than contact with the president, I'll tell you that much. What? You told me she worked at the orphanage.
She did, but only after she returned. After she quit the diplomatic service. She always loved helping others.
Hey, but as soon as he knew, he went to offer a plushie. Yeah.
The orphanage was perfect for her.
Knuckle back!
Many dads in the series can't say as much. I don't know. I mean, I think Excelsior's winner and Manfred von Karma could probably pip him to the post in that respect. You know? I think they'd have a good go at it. Sorry, Judge Cavell, but I have to ask. Amelie, the lady who asked the president to come. Why didn't she show up herself? Why isn't she anywhere in the files related to the SS5 incident?
She never made it to the rendezvous that night. Someone was tailing her.
I'll bet that was Chairman Winner's doing. Though sadly we can't prove it.
And because she couldn't make it, she never saw the president again.
Then she died 5 years ago. This can't be easy for Sean. This series has a lot of daddy issues, doesn't it? Interesting how much parenthood plays a role in this story of this game. Yeah, it really does. Like, there's so many characters with daddy issues. And then you have Trucy, whose daddy issue is the fact she's a fucking Lunder.
Oh, Daddy, there's this nice chap who's got this. He's got this university-looking uniform. He wants to see my magic panties, Daddy.
Oh, Trucy. Case 3 was entirely focused about Gregory's legacy. Yeah, that's true. That was a neat case, by the way. She's Cockney, yeah. Trucy's a Cockney. I don't know why she's a Cockney, but she is.
Hey, Sean, are you thirsty? We can go get a soda. My treat, okay? Come on, I think I saw a vending machine over.
You think I can't buy myself a soda? This is important, and it's about me. I am a Stinger.
Oh, that didn't work at all.
She's the Brits from the Flash Gets Pocahontas video with the moustache. Anytime that there is a 1600s Brit with a moustache, you can guarantee they're a villain. I mean, hell, you can guarantee most Brits are villains anyway, just because they're Brits, right?
Sean, perhaps now you can guess why I met with the president 2 nights ago.
So that's it. That was the big secret.
I wanted to tell him face to face that Amelie was gone, but also that you were alive and well. More than well.
But I... It makes sense now. No wonder Judge Cavell was so keen to avoid sharing the details of their meeting.
Yeah, she would have had to share the truth about Sean too. That was why I took the line lilies with me. So there would be no doubt that I knew Amelie, and that I knew her well. These flowers bore a special significance for the two of them, you see. President Wang gave Amelie a bouquet of line lilies in the early days of their romance. But now he too is dead. If only he'd lived. Sean might finally have been able to get to know him.
Shifu! I've been waiting for the right time to say this, but... What? What is it? You've been hovering there this whole time. Can it wait? They sent something else from Shengfa. President Wang's will. What? Wait, they sent President Wang's Willy? They sent President Wang's Wang. Trucy has so many daddy issues. She doesn't have one father, not two fathers, but three fathers. Yes. Yes. So she has, what's-his-face Grammary. She has Phoenix Wright, and then she has Miles Edgeworth. Right? Miles Edgeworth being her dad by marriage, because Phoenix, you know, marries Edgeworth. And then they peg, you know. Just kind of how it goes in that house. The president's will, huh? He gave my father medal after medal. They had to come up with new ones just for him. They pegged before, during, and after. Yeah, they're not saying objection in the court, they're saying objection. In the end, there were no medals left to give, so he made us the keepers of his last will and testament. Those medals, that duty, they're our greatest pride, our family jewels. What? This is... What is it, Agent Lang? Does it have anything to do with our current case? You could say that. Seems he was planning on publicly acknowledging Sean as his son.
Sean's name appears in the president's will.
And we're certain that the document is authentic. That President Wang wrote it himself. That's a dad win. That is actually a dad win, yeah. Sure we are. It's old, but it's real. My family took charge of it back before the SS5 incident happened. They'll want to analyze it back home to be sure, but I'd stake my name on it being a genuine article. Wang was a renowned world leader. A child nobody knew about would have been sure to cause a stir. Your grandpa could have learned a thing or two. I mean, we could have taught your grandpa a thing or two. We could have made a man out of your grandpa. And we could have taught them to defeat the Hun. My wife's been watching a lot of Disney films recently, and some of the songs have been seeping into my brain and just kind of blending into this cartoonish mush up there. It's just like a slurry of references in my brain today, I'm afraid. And then the heat is baking it just nicely. It's like a slow cooker of mimetic references. And brain damage. Never forget the brain damage. No. And yet he chose to mention the child in his will nonetheless. Under the sea, I will build a room, inside it I'll coom, under the sea. Well, that's that, I guess. I can't quite believe it, but the president confirmed it with his own hand. There's no denying it. Sean, you're President Wang's son. Is Lang very bird-themed? I feel like he's supposed to be a wolf.
Sean!
Sean! Oh, great. We've got to do the whole fucking Eustace Winner bullshit again. Odd considering the Wang we met in Case 1. not Wang. I am absolutely 100% convinced that's the body double. Yeah, the Edgeworth run, he's like, he's having a joke, he's like, oh no, I must catch up to this child, but I've shit my pants. Oh dear. I have turded the napkin. Turded the napkin, that's a good one, I should remember that. That's a good one, I should remember that, huh? Right, okay. So if the OG is President Wang, is the body double President Goon or something? No, because what's the opposite of Wang? Menge. Therefore, the body double is President Menge. I don't make the rules, alright? I just enforce them. Actually, I wonder, Americans in the chat, is this a word that you guys are aware of? Do you guys use the term Menge? Or is that just purely a British thing? I'm really interested to see what answer I get back from this. French in the chat here, you're not aware of it. Okay. It's a Brit thing, right, okay. So, in case you need to know, Minge is vulgar slang for le vagine. Okay? So, you know, it's the opposite of Wang. You know, it's, Le Cuif Canon. The reason most people even know anything of it is because of the Oprah South Park episode. You know what? I've never seen that one. To my great chagrin, I've never seen that episode. But yeah, it's pretty common slang over here.
Come over here and give Granny's gash a moisten with that cream. Lobe up the minge.
You know, that sort of thing. He wasn't my dadu. It can't have been easy learning the truth about his father's identity so unexpectedly. Her butthole and her minge called Minge hold Oprah hostage. You know what? That's pretty funny. Her minge is just called Minge. Amazing. But yeah, no, minge is like actual British slang term. You know, it's a vulgar term, basically meaning le vagine, le canon du cuif, le enfant du tunnel. Her minge is wielding a revolver. Holy shit. That's actually kind of scary. That's like a very American one. It's, if it was wearing a 10-gallon hat, would it be Dog Dimmadome owner of the Dimsdale Dimdome? Or is that just me? And too late to ever get to know him. You know how hard I tried to find him.
Sean.
I get it. He was the president. He had a lot more to think about than just me. But he was right there in front of me, right there on the set. So why? Why didn't he just say something? Why didn't he tell me who he was?
I'm sorry, Sean. I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault, Mum. It's mine. If I hadn't broken my promise to you, that fire would have never happened, and he wouldn't have... I've ruined everything. Everything. It's all my fault. I even ruined your flowers.
Sean, please. You mustn't blame yourself. Just try to be here with me. Just for a little while.
The bond between parent and child. As symbolized by the lion lily. I'm no expert, but it's native to Shangfa, so I know that much at least. Sadly, we don't have the luxury of dwelling on such things just now. I know it might seem insensitive, Agent Lang, but sentimentality won't help us here. We need to focus on what we can do about the case before us. It's true. You're right. I believe we've learned all we need to about what happened back then for now. How does it all line up with your father's theories about the case? I wouldn't know. He took those to the grave with him. He never shared his thoughts with anybody. There's no way of knowing now what he figured out. What about your own thoughts? Are you feeling any more positive in light of what we learned from Kay's reconstruction? Are we any closer to learning what really happened 12 years ago? You know, I think we might be. My father's footsteps are starting to become clear. Now all we need to do is follow them. All the way to the truth. Okay. The president went to the orphanage that night. That much we know for sure. The Taurosaurus toy proves it. He must have gone there to meet with Emily Fenn. Except he was kidnapped and Aldan happened to see it. If Aldan hadn't been there, there wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping. Instead, they had to move his body to the planners and stage that photo to throw everybody off the scent. So that's our current theory, is it? Okay. But there's something I still don't understand. There is. This. Why risk staging the picture? They would have had to force the president to play along. What if he hadn't? See, this is why I think it's the body double. Because what if the body double had some sort of grudge against the president? And, like, I still think the real president's been dead for a long time, and that it's the body double's corpse who we found in the lot. Because the reason I've got this theory right is because Lang made that comment saying that after the kidnapping attempt, it was like the president was a completely different person. And yes, psychological trauma can change someone, and I've witnessed this firsthand. But to that degree, I suspect that's not the same person. I strongly suspect they're two different people. And the only thing I can say is that because there's a body double at play, it has to be him, right? I'm really interested to see if I've done it again. Like, have I been able to blow Ace Attorney open again? And we may be closer to discovering the answer than we think. We'll just have to get one deduction at a time. Yeah, I guess we will. Alright, deduce away. I like how this has become... This is no longer a confrontation. This is just two guys trying to work shit out.
Hold it!
Nothing should be taken for granted at this stage. We need to treat even the seemingly certain with caution. Can we really be sure that the president went to the orphanage? I get it. You want evidence?
This is a nice change of pace when people ask you to show them proof, though, Mr. Edgeworth.
They're trying to help the kid first and foremost. To some degree, at least. They're trying to work out the truth of the incident more than anything. Helping the kid is actually just kind of incidental to that, but it is part of it. Wow. I've actually almost drunk my entire sippy cup today. That's pretty good. Okay, I think that's true.
Hold it!
Yeah, I've got like a big jug. So I call it sippy cup because it's got a straw in it, but basically it's one of those big jugs with a handle. It's got like a compartment to put fruit into, so you can like... wait, that better not be what I think it is. Is that a... That's not a crack in this already, is it? Holy shit, the... Hang on. Give me a second, guys. Give me a second. I've only had this like a week or two. It's a scratch. There's like a scratch in the plastic already. I've only had this like 2 weeks. God's sake. Okay. But yeah, I've basically got it to steep fruit into, and then to make sure that I can, well, basically get enough water in my day. Was it made in China? I've got no idea. Let's have a look. Not suitable for hot liquids. Understood. Oh wow, there's another crack down at the bottom actually. It's almost been chipped almost. No, it was made in Australia. Damn. If this breaks, I mean, it was only a couple of quid, I suppose, but I might have to get like an actual like big jug instead. So Mr. Aldan saw the president being kidnapped from right by the orphanage.
And he was standing next to the snowman.
The murderer crept up behind him, grabbed a brick, and... Ow! Ah! Calm down, Kay. We're simply verifying our understanding of events.
Yeah, well, that little outburst just blew my understanding out of my ears. I know we have to go over all this again, but can we do it less dramatically?
Really? Fine. I'm happy to keep answering if you're happy to keep asking.
Hold it!
If Mr. Aldown hadn't been there, huh? That's an interesting suggestion. Care to explain? There's not a whole lot to explain. He saw the kidnapping, so he was murdered. If he hadn't been there, maybe the kidnapping could have happened without any blood being spilled. But could it?
Huh, it makes it sound as if it was Mr. Aldown's fault he was murdered.
That's not what Agent Lang is saying, Kay. What he means is that Mr. Aldown was the only person who died at the orphanage that night.
Well, of course he was. They kidnapped the president and everything. But the ransom was paid and he came home safely, right?
She's right, of course, but why does something bother me about that? It's definitely the body double. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it's definitely the body double who is the recent guy who's been killed. Do you remember we had a conversation with Shelley the Killer? We had a conversation with Shelley the Killer, and we asked, I think we pretty much directly said, were you contracted to murder the president? And he said something to the tune of, technically, his contract was to assassinate the president. And yet we already know that he's not the one who's done it. And Shelley the Killer does not miss his target. So my theory is, he's gotten wind that his target is not the president of Shengfa. Therefore, he cannot fulfill this contract because he would be killing someone who is not his target. His target is already dead. His target's already been dead for a long time. So Canis has killed the president at the orphanage. The picture we've got shows it, right? That's Bodhidharma Canis. That's his dog. So he's killed the president. He's the one who's killed the president back then. Okay. I think it might be worth taking a look over all the evidence. Finish discussing things with your assistant, Mr. Prosecutor. Let's continue, shall we? I think we should present the picture. I'm going to try that. Let's try it. You were thinking the blood stain? That's a good point, actually. The blood wasn't Aldown's. Let's try it.
Objection!
You're right. You've done it again, Hades. You're saying there would have been no murder if Mr. Aldown hadn't witnessed the kidnapping. But is that really the case? Why wouldn't it be? Their main aim was to abduct the president, right? So if there hadn't been a witness present, they wouldn't have needed to murder anybody. And yet it remains possible that Mr. Aldown wasn't the only person killed that night. There was a large pool of blood between the planters, but Mr. Aldown was murdered over by the snowman. It can't have belonged to him. What if all that blood by the planters belonged to somebody else? Come on, Mr. Prosecutor. You do realize what you're saying, don't you? I do. It's hard to believe. I'll be the first to admit it, but it's what the evidence suggests. Not just one person was killed here 12 years ago, but two. You're saying they covered up a whole separate murder? But whose? Who else was killed that night? Whoever covered up this other homicide did so very skillfully indeed. They even seem to have been able to avoid it being mentioned in the files. But they didn't quite get rid of everything. We have a piece of evidence from 12 years ago they never managed to erase. This is the picture.
Take that!
Excelsior's winner tried to shroud the existence of the other murder in darkness, but there was one piece of evidence he wasn't able to suppress, thanks to the efforts of your father, Agent Lang. My father? Cast your mind back, if you will. Something else was hidden along with the other evidence from the crime scene. We went from Larry's painting to a child drawing. Yes. What if Sean Fenn is a time-displaced miniature Larry Butts? What then? The existence of the child who set the fire in front of the orphanage. But why would Chairman Winner wish to erase him from the record? Because he saw something he should not have. That's why.
He did? What was it?
It's right here in this picture. The picture my father kept. I think we can all agree that the president's on the right-hand side, and that's the Torosaurus toy in his hand. But who's that standing across from him?
Take that!
This theme is disturbing, isn't it? Eastern robes and a black dog that can only be Bodhidharma Canis.
What? The creepy assassin guy?
And what would a hired killer be doing in the presence of a president? I can think of only one thing. That's right. It wasn't a kidnapping that occurred here 12 years ago. It was an assassination. Ayah!
And Warden LeGuard and Chairman Winner were...
Yes, I think they were complicit. More than complicit, in fact. One provided the venue for the killing, and the other suppressed the testimony of the child who witnessed it. Mr. Aldan was murdered because what he witnessed was actually an assassination, and not the kidnapping he thought it to be at all. That Winner face is insanely creepy. Yeah. I mean, that's the face that I make when I see a lady with really nice knee pits. That's the face. It's like... You can't see it because of the camera, but... I'm doing that face right now. It's like smiling. Ow. Do you think I'm an idiot? How could the president have died 12 years ago? We only found his body this morning. He was alive and well until just recently.
Yeah, we even met him.
Indeed, so we have a president killed 12 years ago and a president killed in the last 48 hours. Two presidents, in other words.
Right, which is completely impossible.
Or is it? I think it's entirely possible for there to be two presidents. In fact, that would explain a lot. But regardless of what happened, I still respected him. Shangfan may not be a big country, but he held that place together. The president Agent Lang spoke of was a noble and capable leader. No. The presidential mask has well and truly slipped. Entirely unlike the man we met. It really did seem as if they were two completely different people. But how could one country have two presidents? What could explain a situation like that? This is how it was possible for there to be two presidents. One's a body double. One of the two was a body double. Tell me that doesn't make sense. A body double. President Wang was a man of great power and influence in Shangfang, a figure on the world stage. There must have been countless attempts on his life over the years. You gotta go, Hades. No worries. You take care and have a good one, alright? Hopefully see you tomorrow for some Chrono Trigger. If not, schedule's going to be going up probably some point on Sunday, I think. And next week we've got some new stuff coming in, so look forward to that. Yeah. I'll cover off with everyone what those new things are when we get to the end of the stream, by the way, just so you got a bit of an idea. Such as the one at Gourd Lake only a few days ago. It's true, there were more than a few assassination attempts. But that doesn't mean I'm about to accept that there is more than one president. Not without proof. Do we have any proof there was more than one president? Let's have a look through the evidence, huh? That's the Tangaroa file. Okay. Let's see. Okay. And there's another. I think it's that one. I think it might be Mr. Aldan's final call. Let's try that.
Take that!
Nope. Not that. This proves it surely. You have to agree there were two presidents now. Sorry, but I don't. Not based on that anyway. Lang Shi says. Bad proof has no mouth. In other words, meaningless evidence can tell us nothing. Ooh, must have gotten that wrong.
If you could prove that you've ever been in two places at once, that would be pretty evidence that there were two presidents, right?
It would. Let's look over the evidence again and consider the facts of the case. What you're saying is impossible. There can't have been two presidents. If you want me to change my mind, I'm going to need some evidence.
Do we have any proof there was more than one president?
Proof that there were two presidents. So the another in the tape was obviously the other person who was there with them. Do we have any proof there was more than one president? Do we? Do we? Because if we do, I'm not seeing it. Hold on. Huh? Any ideas, chat? We need something that proves that the president can be in two places at once. Okay. President's presence at embassy until midnight confirmed by DeLong Lang. President Wang was supposed to meet Amelie Fenn at the orphanage at midnight. Right, so he should have been... He was at the embassy until midnight, and he's supposed to meet Amelie Fenn at the orphanage at midnight, so he can't be in both places at the same time. So I think it's this, then. Let's try that.
Take that!
I don't think he's noticed the contradiction staring him in the face. Or is he just unable to accept it? What's the matter, Mr. Prosecutor? You're pretty quiet all of a sudden. In Amelie Fenn's recording, she asked the president to be at the orphanage at midnight, but it shouldn't have been possible for him to be there at that time.
Huh? How come?
Because he was supposedly still at the embassy. With your father, Agent Lang. So he had noticed. The only way he could have been in two places at once is if there were two of him. Ow!
So the real president, that was the one who...
Died 12 years ago. I think it might have been. But why? And who? Who would have hired Canis to murder the president? In order to figure that out, we'll need to look again at the piece of evidence we recently discovered was a fake. The fake evidence, what was it again? It was the... it's this.
Take that!
The picture with Mr. Aldown's camera was staged sometime after his murder. And Mr. Aldown was murdered because he witnessed the president's assassination. In other words, the photograph too must have been taken after the real president's death. So who is the president in the staged photograph? The body double. Nothing else makes sense. I believe the president's double had him killed so that he could take his place permanently. An Excelsior's winner and Fifi Laguard helped him do it. Wait, you don't even have a body to support your theory. Are you telling me it magically disappeared? That's what's... That... Where is it? 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 That's not a fucking package. That's a dude.
Objection!
No. In fact, we know exactly where it wound up. The president's body was here the whole time.
Take that!
Your sense of humor needs some serious work, Mr. Prosecutor. How could the president's body have been there? What? It literally says in there where it is. I have a photo of it. Yeah, but why does that not work? It literally says in front of the planter. We know which planter was involved in all of this. So why does that not work? It literally says, here is exactly where it is. These are written instructions. These are Morrowind quest directions to get to the corpse. Oh, that's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. So it has to be the photo. It can't be... The photo isn't even clear. The photo's not even clear about it. See, the photo makes less sense than the statement, I'll tell you that much. UI? Blout? What? Wait, I'm waiting. Can I show Mr. Aldown's photograph? This one. Okay, why? What are you seeing? Lego Lara Hellis, what do your elf eyes see? It's supposed to be this photo. Wait, this photograph? This one? What? How? How's it this photograph? It doesn't show us anything. What? Huh? Is this a random bullshit go moment? It feels like it. It wasn't that one? Ow. The monster footprint. I can't save. I can't save. I'm locked into presenting until I get it right or die. I can't save. That's inconvenient. Yeah, it's really, really awful. Did Excelsior's winner dig up the ransom money? Unless they're trying to insinuate he's trying to dig up the body. But, like, this report, look. Retrieve the package we laid to rest 12 years ago. I'm sure it's still right in front of the planter where we left it. It literally says where the corpse is. It's right in front of the planter where we left it. So, if it's meant to be the photo of the footprint, that's not even occurred to me. There's no logic to it being this, except for the fact we know he's dug around it. So it's like, I guess if you did a bit of like reaching around, then maybe it'd work. But like, it'd have to be the amount of reaching around that I give to a spider monkey every now and then whilst reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. And the ad's over, Dodso. We'll wait for our Texan chum to return before we progress. I need to steel myself. I need to steel my bottom. I will steal my bum. My bum. Speaking of reach around makes me think of the Solidage video on Transformers names. Yeah, you know what? I kind of get that. Because, like, when you got Transformers who have... Transformers who have names like Fenderbend or Cogjob, you know, it's like, man, they are kinky ass robots though. All right, let's play the footprint.
that!
Chairman Winner dug something up last night, something he couldn't trust anybody else to retrieve. We thought it might have been the ransom money, but it was actually something even more important.
Wait, you mean?
That's right, the real president's body. I think it's highly likely anyway. What? The body may have decomposed in the intervening years, but the bones would surely have remained. Mr. Powers informed us that the construction is due to start here sometime soon. Everything had to be wrapped up before then. The shooting of the movie and the recovery of the president's remains.
Yeah, I guess once they started digging the place up, they would have found them pretty quick, huh?
Agent Lang, we need to have the so-called monster footprints analysed again. Yeah, I guess we do. If there was a body under one of them, there should be trace evidence to confirm it. Hey, give me somebody from forensics. Sir, present the findings of our analysis, sir. Traces of human remains were found in the dirt, along with other signs of a body having been buried. So it really was him. Bones were also recovered from the home of Hexose's winner. The physique looks to be about right, and dental and medical records are a match. It's him, no doubt about it. Oh, man. So, as suspected, the real President Wang was killed 12 years ago, and the SS5's kidnapping was in fact a homicide. Well, well, well. We digging up corpses today, lads.
Wow, so it really was a murder, huh? This case has taken so many twists and turns, I'm starting to lose track.
Yes, perhaps we should summarise our findings just to confirm we understand everything correctly.
Good idea. Let's go over everything from the point when the president arrived at the orphanage.
One moment. Oh. Aha! I'll have a look at that at some point shortly, yeah. But, like... I mean, when you've got a Transformer whose name is something like, you know, Axelcock, you know it's going to be kinky as fuck, right? 12 years ago, the real President Wang visited the orphanage. Hey! His aim? To meet his infant son. The footprints we originally assumed to be those of Mr. Aldo seem likely to have actually been made by the President upon his arrival. You feel old. I mean, Ara's been following for, I think, about 3 years now. I think it was around the time, 2 years, 7 months, 30 days. I was almost right, yeah. Wait, no, I was actually a bit off. It's more like 3 years. Oh, damn. If Hart was in chat, I think Hart's been there since, because I started streaming in 22. And I think Hart was there in the follow list probably from like the first couple of months. So Ara's like probably one of the longest. Definitely like top 10 ancients in the chapter. We might have to promote you to Marnius Calgar soon. Yeah. And you can sit on a toilet looking threatening with 2 power fists, thinking, you know, you can't wipe your ass with power fists on. Actually, can you? I need to ask someone. Hold on. Let me just put this question somewhere. Hold on. Is Loven there? Let me ask Modcord. Give me a second, guys. Okay, one moment. There we go. Right, I've asked the question. In 40k, can you wipe your ass with dual power fists equipped? We'll see what they say. There's a Transformers subgroup named Breast Force. The stream that I was watching through the afternoon, because my Oshi is away, and she's at Offkai. She's not streaming while she's at Offkai. Maybe doing Twitter Spaces, but she's not live. So I was watching Red Woman, and she was playing a game called Would You Like an Iced Latte with Your Breast Milk? Yeah. It's real. But instead of being greeted by his child, he was met by the assassin, Bodhidharma Canis.
That's so sad. He was hoping to see his baby for the first time, only to...
Indeed, but at least with Mr. Canis, we can be sure that the job was swiftly and effectively completed. But then, after the assassination, another tragedy occurred.
Mr. Aldown's murder.
Yes, it seems he witnessed a key moment in the evening's proceedings. The moment when our culprits, the so-called kidnappers, took the president's body around to the side of the building. That was the sight that sealed his fate. We've now established that he was standing by the orphanage gates at the time. Far enough away that he believed what he was seeing was the president's abduction. At which point...
Oh, the body double who come to meet up with his co-conspirators. Walk right up behind Mr. Aldown.
Leading to our unfortunate eyewitness...
being murdered by the man who was plotting to replace the president. So was the body double who moved Mr. Aldown's body too?
Yes, I think it probably was.
But none of the footprints could have been his, could they?
Someone's answering the question. I'll have an answer for you very shortly. Actually, I think they could. In fact, we have a piece of evidence that proves how that particular trick was achieved. What shows how the body double managed to move the body without leaving any footprints. Huh? See, not actually Aldown's shoes appear to have been placed on his feet by the culprit after the murder took place. The thing is, even if you've taken your shoes off, you're still going to leave footprints in snow. Right? Especially if you're the size of the body double, right? But at the same time, it feels like the only answer that we have. Not your footprints, but it says any footprints. It doesn't say your footprints specifically, it just says any footprints. We'll play it, but I'm pessimistic as to our chances. Right, okay. The answer to the question so far, as to in 40k, if you have dual power fist equipped, can you wipe your ass? Mercuria of Sanacord. I thought they just had, like, a catheter system for sanitation. And surely the Imperium at this point realizes manufacturing toilet paper removes workers from the weapon manufactoriums. So surely they'd use bidets, right? Okay. Right, understood. Not needing to wipe doesn't mean they can't wipe. You know what? That's a fair point. We've kind of managed to swerve the question, haven't we? Interesting. Right.
Take that!
What if the president's double moved Mr. Aldown's body like this? After killing Mr. Aldown, he could have carried him to the other side of the entrance. Given that his job was to look just like the president, he would have been wearing the same shoes, meaning that if he stepped exactly in the footprints left by the real president... Oh, I see. Right. No, that does kind of make sense, actually.
Of course. His would have been the same shape and size. Would look like a single set of footprints. So that's how it all went down. I'm so glad we finally figured it out. Wait, but there's one thing I still don't get.
There is. What?
Why do they need to pretend there was a kidnapping?
Mr. Aldown had seen the presence at the orphanage and left a message on Miss Ringer's phone describing what he thought he saw. It would have been impossible for the conspirators to erase that message, so they had to make it look as if the events described in the message were true.
By staging a kidnapping like the one he thought he saw?
Exactly. I think the two people in the photograph are likely to be the body double and Fifi Laguard.
She's the one in the trench coat. How can you be sure of that?
The two of them would have had to walk out beyond the orphanage gates to stage the photo. The body double could have put his feet in the real president's prints as he did before.
Oh, so the other set of footprints were hers?
The ones we originally thought belonged to the killer, yes. They were about a size 9, too small for Chairman Winner, in other words. Which means the kidnapper must have been played by Warden LaGuard. That explains how a so-called kidnapping was actually a presidential assassination. Oh. Right, 1 second. Let's send this back. Okay. This is quite entertaining, like, taking 40k toilet sanitation theorems to the Hololive moderation Discord. This is the life I've chosen. It does, which means my father must have. He must have noticed. There's no way he wouldn't have suspected a murder. Especially not with the kid's picture as proof.
But the picture was never officially put into evidence, correct?
No, he appears to have kept hold of it after taking the witness statement of the child who drew it. Yeah, because he knew. He knew President Wang was dead. And he knew what would happen if that news ever got out. Sheng Fa would have been plunged into chaos, no doubt. So he kept it a secret, and that secret died with him. Even though it meant taking the blame for the kidnapping and our family name being ruined. So your father knew the truth about what happened 12 years ago, but he chose to hide it.
Well, it's finally come to light at last.
Damn. I feel like this is going to be Canis. Is it indeed? Intriguing.
Huh?
What? Who's there? Called it. That sound. Is that a bell? Bodhidharma Canis. What the heck are you doing here? We're the law. You think you can just show up in front of us like it ain't a problem? Forgive me, but I couldn't help overhearing the fascinating conversation you were having. Ha! The opportunity to gloat over your past crimes was just too good to miss, I expect. You killed President Wang. I did. But it's not something I'm inclined to gloat over. I was more interested in something else you mentioned. Or someone else, should I say. Someone you're looking for, I suppose. Exactly. That's why I took a little sojourn from the penitentiary to find a certain young pup. A young pup in a rather eye-catching red raincoat. What?
Wait, you know who they are?
In a manner of speaking. What did you call them again? A secret mastermind. It's your friend in the red raincoat, of course. Red raincoat? The prosecutor looks a little surprised, doesn't he, Helmut? Yes he does. The young pup I mentioned. He saved my life, you know. 12 long years ago. Oh, okay. Ara, how far into this are we? Like, are we bisecting the end portion of this this case now? We're about halfway there, do you reckon? Because, like, if we are, I'm halfway done with this part, and then there's another part after this one. Is the part after this one, like, really, really long, or is it quite straightforward? If I end it there, I might have done 2 more streams. The last part's quite long, so I'd be better off doing the final part as a single stream and finishing this part then. I don't know, actually, we're almost at 2 hours, aren't we? Halfway done with this part. Halfway done with this part. We got... Yeah, it's the guy whose head looks like a penis. The Horatio-looking dude. He does look like Horatio, it's true. Soon the entire universe will look like Horatio. Yeah, Horatio was in Endless Space 1 as well. He looked different in that, but Yeah, I think this seems like a good place for us to wrap things up. The other thing is my voice is not great on account of wife giving me her lurg. So I think if Canis's voice is going to be here, it's going to destroy me a little bit. So this is where we'll wrap things up. Let's pull over here. Yeah, lurg. Lurg is UK slang for being a bit sick. Yeah, so basically I've got a bit of a gammy throat at the minute because wife's had a bit of a sore throat recently. Being in close proximity, it's transferred over to me. So it's basically like coughing and gunk in my throat, that sort of thing. So my voice is starting to hurt a little bit. I don't know if you can hear the buzzing on it, but that's from the strain of like voice acting through a mild illness. So yeah. So tomorrow is, I think it's a 5 PM kickoff for the stream. Let me just double check that for you. Hang on, let's see. Just gonna pull up my doofer. Yeah, so tomorrow is Chrono Trigger. I said 5:30. I might just change that just to 5 instead, because I've got my hair cut at 3. I'm going through town before then, so I should be home for like 4, and then I can have some food, go live, and in terms of Chrono Trigger, I think we're just about to do the Genodome in the future, so we're kind of like a little way into things, but yeah, thank you for the Hangstar, guys, thank you as well, Don. So it's been fun, and I'm glad that we've made some progress on this, and I think if we've got like another stream, maybe 2 to come out of this, then depending on what happens with the Capcom Live, we can work out what our next plans are. So next week as well, we are. Oh, what's this? Thunderstorms are likely across parts of northern England and Wales on Sunday from 3 PM till 4 PM. Delightful. Let's hope that there are no thunderstorms, huh? Sorry, I'm just having a quick look at this weather forecaster. I just want to see if there's any chance that we're going to get battered by storms on Sunday. Because, like, I hate thunderstorms. They stress me out. Like, they're beautiful to watch, but they... Oh, I see. Saturday, 3 PM through Sunday, 4 AM. Oh, okay. Well, let's hope it doesn't happen, huh? Anyway, The main things that are different next week are we're playing Uma Musume Prissy Derby on Thursday when it releases. So we're playing a gacha game, guys. We're playing a gacha game. Beyond that, I haven't drawn my plans together just yet. But someone disliked my stream of this. Someone disliked my stream. I'm very sad about that. How could they do this to me? Oh well, it's all good. I'll be back tomorrow at 5 then, guys. You look after yourselves, take lots of care. I'm going to go get myself some throat sweets, and with all being well, I'll see you tomorrow for some Chrono Trigger. Till then, have a good one.